Thanks for listening to my story. If you are enjoying it, please be sure to subscribe so I'll know I should continue posting. Enjoy! Chapter 30. Headlines. Sky stifled a giggle. She wasn't sure she'd ever seen anything so absurd as the large men speeding off with their buggies while shouldering their guns and bows. Dylan swept a muscled arm through a shelf, dumping its contents directly into the metal cart. He looked up at her, frowned and gave a sharp nod in the direction she was supposed to be going. I know. Sky looked contrite. Then get. Sky playfully rolled her eyes at him. His tone hadn't been as harsh as his words. Sky turned the opposite way of Dylan at the next cross aisle and headed to the part of the store that held personal items. Each person had designated items, and she had assigned herself this area. Sky had no faith the men would even remotely know the right soaps or anything else to get. And there were a few extras she hoped to sneak into the buggy. On her way to personal products, she passed through the toy section and grabbed a couple of games Jessie requested along with all the model car kits left. She spied a red remote control car and tossed it in the buggy too. Books, paper, pens, and pencils flew into the cart. They were back in high demand now. Devices weren't used as much. In the personal section, she stuck to the essential things first, like toothpaste, shampoo, soaps. When she claimed all they needed, Sky turned to luxury items. Moisturizers, conditioner, face masks, a couple of nail polishes just for fun, makeup, a brush all for herself, hair ties, and the many other things that a woman needs or wants after being deprived of them for so long. Sky was losing breath by the time she was done. Though she would have loved to take time to peruse the aisles, Sky scooped up products as fast as she could, happy she wasn't a picky person. Her eyes were on the cart looking over her haul as Sky whisked around the end of the aisle and almost colliding into Wade, Dylan, and Jessie's buggies. Hey, you done? What the? Dylan said, giving her his I can't believe you woman look as his eyes moved from the cart to her. Sky looked at her supplies. Silently groaning, she noticed face masks and fingernail polishes on the top of the heaping pile. Look, I got all the important products they had. Then I got a few things I wanted. A few things? I'm not sure all that is gonna fit in the cabin, Dylan mumbled as he flipped through the pile. Stop it. It's not that much. When Dylan didn't relent, Sky said, fine. Then dig through there and take out what you think I don't need. Sky looked from her stuff to the two uncomfortable men eyeing the numerous pink and purple packaged items. Jessie looked from the men to the buggy to Sky, snickering behind his hands. Sky threw up her arms. Oh, sorry, guys, in case you hadn't noticed, I'm a girl. Jessie went from snickering to all-out laughter. Wade turned to Jessie and thumped him in the head. Have some respect, boy. Wade. Sky put out a hand to stop him. Do you have to be so physical? You know I hate that. Yes, I do. And in case you hadn't noticed, we're boys. The three guys broke into laughter. Boys is right, Sky muttered under her breath as she pushed past them. Hey, you got me stuff. Jessie pawed through the toys. What's this? He turned one of the books from front to back. A book for you. It's a love story, Jessie grimaced and pointed to a girl on the back of the book. It's not a love book. It's a dragon story, see? Sky pointed out the man, the dragon, and the title. The Dragon Master. I don't know, he drew out, staring at the cover. Oh, for heaven's sake, give me that. Sky tossed it back in the buggy. We are getting it. I can't even imagine what shopping for real would be like with you guys. Dylan urged them back to the front of the store. As they rushed through the men and boys' clothing department, Sky grabbed jackets, coats, and sweatshirts. The men gave quick nods to everything. It was only when she veered to the jeans, they complained. We don't want no new jeans. Wade looked stubborn. Sky raised her eyebrows. But your old ones all have holes in them. Yeah, and they're just getting comfortable, Dylan said as he threw a few packs of dark thermal tops and bottoms into his buggy. Sky tossed some jeans in anyhow, at some point they'd be glad they had them. By the checkouts, Wade grabbed several dusty magazines. Dylan picked up one. The headline screamed Atlantis exists. Leaders talk with president and offer hope for ag flu. In smaller letters below that, another title said, Aliens take all the healthy to Mars. Dylan pointed to the Atlantis headline. You ever believe any of that? Before all news stopped, crazy reports flew around. One was that Atlanteans had the cure for the AG flu. Major new channels circulated the story along with footage of the supposed underwater people. Sky shook her head. I never knew what to believe. Well, Wade said, you know we couldn't ever believe what the president told us, that's for sure. And the media just did what he told them to do. Jesse piped up. Well, there ain't a president anymore. Wade took a huge breath. Dylan and Sky shared a glance. Wade was about to launch into one of his conspiracy theories. Dylan pulled at one of Wade's carts. Come on now. There ain't time for all your ideas. Kurt and Aaron ran into the store and traded empty carts for the full ones. Still got room in the trucks. Let's fill 'em up. Well, put this in first. Wade pointed to his, Dylan and Jesse's buggies. If that fills it up, just leave Sky's stuff off. Wade's eyes twinkled at Sky's outraged expression. Sky turned to Kurt and Aaron. Every one of those items better be in one of those vehicles. Yes, ma'am, they said before laughing as they headed out the front of the store. Come on. Dylan waved them to the hardware and sports section. Since they're doing that, let's get the rest of this stuff. Tools, nails, and screws in a variety of sizes were all thrown into the buggy. Then all the bullets, arrows and bolts, as well as knives, fishing gear, and the only 2 guns left. The 4 shot smiles at each other. They had everything on their list and then some. Getting it packed in the vehicles took some doing. And they were reduced to laughter by the time the last item made it in the truck. After banging up the final tailgate, they turned to see 6 rough strangers advancing on them, weapons drawn.